What is up, everybody? We are back with some Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, and we're here to answer that question: should you pull on the new Yuffie Rockstar banner? If you guys are new to the channel and you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, follow along with what we do here, hit that like button, comment down below your thoughts on the banner, and let's get into it. Also, for those of you who are new, this is more designed for those who, Yuffie is not necessarily like that waifu character. You have to have everything for Yuffie. If she is that character for you, then go ahead and pull. Just make sure that you can get the outfit. That's, again, always going to be the prize at the end for people who are looking for stuff like that. For the whales who are going to dump money, again, same thing. It's not really designed for that. This is more designed for those of you who are trying to be free to play, or maybe like you spend very, very little. You're like a little minnow or whatever when it comes to spending. And you're trying to figure out how to utilize your resources wisely. So that's with more the design of this. So let's take a look first at the overall look of the outfit. I did this on the initial drop, and this thing looks absolutely amazing. I'm not a Yuffie fan. I'm not a fan of how she looks normally, but I really do like this. I think this looks really, really good on her. I think it fits really well. And it just looks really, really nice. I like the the overall effect. You got the rock boots here. The guitar itself looks amazing. We'll come back and look at that in a second. You got the skirt with the chains, the puffed up yellow jacket here. I really do kind of like the flare here on the jacket. You got like the donuts, the chocobo, the playing cards, the buckles, got the little symbol on the back. Gave her a 6-string guitar. The overall look of the black versus the silver on the skirt looks really awesome. You got her little rings here, the different painted fingernails. Try to look here, yep, so got the checkered purple, yellow. Can't really see the thumb. Thumb's also purple. It looks really, really good. You got the headphones here, the yellow matching the look of the coat. The one thing I do find weird, these look like these would be like an input jack, but they plug into her necklace choker thing, which is just kind of weird. But outside of that, I think overall this design looks absolutely amazing. Whoever designed this, props to you. The guitar itself looks awesome. I do play guitar. I actually play anything with strings: violin, viola, cello, bass, guitar. Got the weird little handle. It's gonna make this thing a little unplayable, which I find interesting how these strings, the E and B string here, actually connect when it's going through the body. The one thing I do find weird about it is it's designed to look like an axe, which, yes, guitar, nickname for guitar is an axe, but, like, yeah, I don't think you'd throw this. Not in the way that she throws, like, her shurikens and things like that. Let's actually just kind of take a look at that, how that looks. Yeah, so she's not really truly throwing it, she's just kind of chucking it sideways. But anyway, let's look at the stats, because this is also an important thing as well. So this is kind of like our new meta for Arcanums, this HP plus. So we have physical and magic ward. This is always going to be great. You get physical magic defense plus 20%. That's a solid stat to have on any character, whether we're talking a healer, a tank, DPS, or support. And then the Frost spell Arcanum. This is definitely geared more towards magic because of this middle stat right here. Now, obviously, if you're running a physical build, ice ability damage plus 30 is going to help, HP plus 15% is going to help, but this middle one would be ignored if you're running a physical build, and that's when your attack stance command gauge is maxed, you get a magic ability damage boost of plus 20%. Again, this is still great, really, really solid stat. Again, does lean more towards magic. Alright, the Rocker's guitar here. So when we look at the overall basics of things, it does ice magic damage to a single enemy when, and this would be a kind of a newish thing here, when your HP is 50% or more, you apply exploit weakness to the entire party, not yourself. the entire party. Now it's going to be 20% for 20 seconds. We're going to be comparing this to Tifa's Daffodil Gloves, which were technically a limit break weapon, but they were the best exploit weakness weapon we had gotten to this point. So we're going to compare like the OB10 version of this to that, just to see where the potency is and duration versus what that one was. You also get an increase the command gauge. Now this one's interesting. I like this. So this increases the command gauge by 10%. This is going to be great for when you're doing a battle against like the Ginatak or something like that, where it hits you with, is it pain? Whatever the skill is that drops your command gauge and makes it fill more slowly. This would be a great way to counteract that. Our ability wise, you're going to boost magic attack, boost magic ability potency, strong combination here. And then the S abilities, magic attack, circle sigil. Now the one issue I have with this being a circle sigil is that in the newest event that this is dropping with, I think it's the Final Fantasy VI crossover. Now even though these technically don't go together, because this outfit's not designed to go with this, because this is a reawakened thing, the Blizzard recipe we got is a triangle Blizzard recipe. Why we would then give Yuffie a circle boost makes zero sense to me. You'd think you'd want to keep with the ice because this is an ice weapon. I don't know, that's me. I think this should have been triangle. Okay, so what happens when you get this thing up to OB1? So OB1, 380% magic ice damage. Your exploit weakness to all allies is at 20% for 25 seconds. Command gauge is still at 10%. Boost magic attack is at 32 points, so you're going to be main-handing this thing, probably. So you're at 20% to your magic attack. Your boost magic ability potency is at 15 points, so you're getting 30% more to your magic ability damage when that attack stance command gauge is maxed, which again, this is helping to get it there even faster. Now, mix that together with her outfit, which is already giving you, again, when that gauge is maxed, 20%. This is going to be really nice. So again, that 15 points, you're getting a plus 50% to your max ability damage while wearing the outfit in this when that command gauge is filled. That's solid. Alright, you get it up to OB6. 500% magic ice damage, HP 50% or more. That exploit weakness is now going up to 30% for 30 seconds, and you're increasing the command gauge now by 20%. So again, in theory, if you were at 0, if you could just cast this thing right off the bat, you're jumping to 20% right off the bat. 5 casts would get you to 100%. Obviously, this is going to fill before you could cast it 5 times, but just to kind of give you an idea of that versus the 10 you were getting before, 10 times it would take. Your boost magic attack has gone up to 40 points. So now you're at plus 30%. The magic ability potency is at 27, so now plus 45. Again, mix that with the 20 from the other one, and you are at that 65%. It's not right. Yeah, it is. 65%. I can math. And then finally, let's say you do take this up to OB10. 600% magic ice damage. I kind of wish that would have been like 720. HP 50% or more. That exploit weakness has gone up to 30% for 40 seconds. Command gauge stays at 20%. So, well, we'll come back to that in a second. Magic attack, this is another 46, 39. So your magic attack's at 46, you get that 40% here. Magic ability potency being at that 39, it's got you at the 60% threshold, plus the 20 from the outfit. You're doing 80% extra magic ability damage just when your attack command gauge is full. 684 magic attack isn't too terrible either, especially when you're considering the fact that Yuffie is listed as a support character, I think, right? So if we go to the stream here, date has changed. Oh. That's what I get for recording this in the middle of the date change here. Get our next login bonus. Come on, there we go. Alright. So, we're looking at her gross stream here. Let's go to Yuffie. No, she is listed as DPS, never mind. She's an attacker. So this is weak for her then. Never mind. For whatever reason, I had it in my head that she was a support role. So this is a little on the weak side. This, I mean, I get that it does the exploit weakness for the whole party, but this should have been like 900% magic damage. So this is now in my head actually not as decent as what I originally had it. Especially when you consider, if we look at her gear in general here, the ice weapons she does have, and well, I think, nope. Where's it at? Here we go, the little red wreath. I mean, 940% with this, and you have a debuff on the target, 1.2, 2 damage. That may be the only ice weapon. I think this is a wind. Should be one more physical ice. I mean, yeah, this one's 800% physical magic ice. Or physical ice. Alright, so it's going to lose some points with me with the fact that it only goes up to 600%. That should have been at least like 820, 900, somewhere in there. I don't know. I feel like that's really, really weak for an attack character. And then, of course, we do have Matt's Gladius weapon here. So, again, you've got a solid ultimate weapon you could potentially end up with. Now, I do want to compare this weapon's exploit weakness to the Daffodil Glove. So, again, at max, you're 30% for 40 seconds. Now, that is to all characters. If we were to look at Tifa's Daffodil Gloves, that was 40% for 70 seconds. Now, you will, in theory, be casting Yuffie's a lot more often than you would cast this. This is kind of a one cast, you go back to your DPS weapon. But, again, 30%, but it's for the entire party versus 40% for your main character that you're using. This had a boost attack to all allies, and then the other one's boosting your magic attack and your potency for that element. We could also compare this to Zack's. I do have to find it though. I think it's this one. Yeah, so Zack's weapon here, 35% for 60 seconds to himself. And again, this is 800% magic ice damage to all. This is an 800% AoE magic ice. The one she's using is magic to a singular target. And this still has the 50% threshold for HP. Now, obviously, it's missing the attack command gauge here. So, I do think the weapon should have been stronger. I think that's where they really kind of failed on this weapon. Other than that, I think this is a solid banner. So the question then becomes, do you pull on this? Well, I mean, we got the Final Fantasy VI crossover that just the Reawakened event that just came back. I'm going to tell you now, I think this is a skip. A lot of this stuff has been outclassed at this point. Even if you look at the outfits, a lot of the outfits, they got a boost to their physical magic ward, physical ability mastery, but I just think this can be a skip. Yes, they boosted a lot of this stuff too, but not enough when you think we've got the Dragon Quest Builder crossover coming up in a month. We've got the 2nd anniversary coming up. I think this is just a blue crystal siphon at this point. So you got that. So back to the Yuffie banner then. Do you pull on the Yuffie banner? It's here till July 9th. this is going to be useful for the upcoming guild battle. They always drop this stuff that's going to build in the guild battle. We're probably going to get one more banner that's going to drop with the guild battle that's also going to be useful towards it. You know, I think this is one where, unless you just have 0 ice, you have 0 ice weapons, I think you can hold off on this one, at least for the time being. Let's see what happens when the guild battle rolls around, and then you can make that decision of whether you pull on that character if you don't have ice, or pull for Yuffie. Now, that being said, also is going to depend on how many crystals you have. I'm only sitting at 36,000. I do have the 10 tickets as well. So for me, I'm wanting to save. I need to try to get saved up for the second anniversary. Had I not pulled on the Glen banner, I probably would have pulled on this one. At least waited till the guild battle and then maybe pulled on this one, assuming the other one wouldn't have been better. But I think this is one that you can kind of hold off on. This weapon is not limited, so you can wishlist this. This one's not going away. It'll show up in the wish list. You can wishlist it on future banners. The one thing you're going to lose out on would be the outfit. So there is that. The stamp card also isn't too bad. Now, this is still, you know, building off of the 11 million download gear medals. So you actually do get, you get the 2 at the beginning, plus the 5-star higher in the weapon on the first page. Not terrible, considering if we go to Sephiroth's here, the Metal Gear Solid one. Oh, that was an 11 million as well. So I don't think we can see one that's not. Maybe it's this one. No, this one had all the extras too. So yeah. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to really see that too much. But we can look at the stamp card here. It was 11 million as well. Never mind. So yeah, it's a. I think this is one you can safely wait on. Like I said, unless you just don't have any ice gear and you're needing that for the guild battle. But even then, I would still wait till this next banner for the guild battle drops and then make that call of which banner of those two, if not both, that you pull on. Again, great banner. Not trying to discount this banner. Like I said, my biggest hang up with it right now is the fact I really think the weapon should have been much stronger. There should be at least about another 100 to 100, or another 200, sorry, 200 to about 300% more damage being done by that weapon. For it to be an even stronger, yes, you should probably pull on this. But that's my thoughts. Let me know down in the comments below, what are your thoughts on this banner? What do you think about the overall look of it, with the stats, the damage, you know, and whatnot? And how can this weapon be utilized in a way maybe I didn't analyze it? Or, again, do you just agree with what I had to say? So, again, let's start that conversation down below. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you in the next one.